Improved automation. This includes boundary independent macros, pause and rerun dependent plans, and in the tree view, show state by color. Boundary independent macro. A checkbox has been added to the Save Macro dialog, allowing boundary independent macros to be created. This becomes live when the display option, No Dialogs, is selected. It works in a similar way to surface independent macros, but is reliant on the identical naming of boundaries used in the donor database and the boundaries created for use in the host database. In this donor database, let's create 3 boundaries. We will rename these and then use each one in a different machining operation. Let's rename this Area Clearance 1. And this one Raster. And finally one for the waterline pass. Let's select the first of these silhouettes and create some area clearance passes. Let's link the passes. Now for the raster toolpath. And link these. And finally, the waterline machining. We now need to create the macro. So, select the triangulated surfaces, the 3 boundaries, and the 3 toolpaths, and then from the File, Macro, Save As, choose No Dialogs, tick the Boundary Independent option, and give it a suitable name. We can now save and exit this donor database. We will then start a new NCGCam session and open another part. This will be used as the host database to run the macro in. Here is our new session of NCGCam, our host database for machining the second part. When we run the macro, it will generate area clearance, raster, and waterline toolpaths for a new set of boundaries. Let's open the second part and create 3 new boundaries. The boundaries need to be named exactly the same as in the donor database. Area Clearance 1, Raster 2, waterline 3. To run the macro and make changes to the parameters, we need to know how to pause and rerun dependent plans. With this option, it is possible to pause all operations as the macro starts. From the File menu, select Start Macro Paused. If we look at this again, we'll see that there is a tick to indicate that this feature is active. Select the triangulated surfaces and the 3 new boundaries. From the File menu, select Macro, Run. Select the macro from the list and open. If the project settings are correct, click OK. The Process Manager will show which plans are queued and which are blocked. If required, parameters can be edited before running the macro or rerunning dependent plans. Show State by Color is a feature that has been added to the tree view. Plans that are queued or blocked are color highlighted. You can edit the default choice of colors in Tools, Options, System Colors. Select the area clearance passes. We can see that it is queued and that the color in the tree view represents a paused state. Right mouse click the passes and choose Properties. We can now make any changes that may be required. In this case, let's increase the step down to 3.5 millimeters. If a plan has been paused and then modified, it is marked in the tree view with a different color. If we look at the Process Manager, we can see that new plans have been created and that the originals or orphaned plans are cancelled. Select the waterline passes and edit the max limit. Set it back to default. Click OK. Each process can then be selected and started individually using the blue arrow in the toolbar. Note, the correct sequence needs to be observed. A queued set of passes must be run before the blocked toolpaths can be linked, and so on. Alternatively, if all edits have been made, a right mouse click in the Process Manager window and choosing Pause All, which at this stage will have a tick next to it, will start all the plans to run in sequence. Once the macro or plan has been run and concluded, the colors in the tree view are reset. Any further work on the database can now be completed.